So hey there fellow YouTubers, it's Frank Bush here again. So today I just thought I'd throw together a quick video. I'm not going to make this one too long, but I'm just out, tinkering with my solar panels in the back and that kind of thing. But I thought I'd stop and show you guys this setup. I understand solar power and batteries and all these types of things, buying the panels and everything else can come across a little daunting and definitely can come across as expensive. So I wanted to stop and just do a quick showing here of a really small system. It's not that powerful, but it does produce electricity and could give you off-grid capabilities without breaking the bank, if you will. So in this example, I've got a 30-watt solar panel sitting right here. So it's not really a high-powered panel. You can normally get those relatively cheap. They're definitely less than $100 to pick something like that up, so it's not a major commitment. And then I've got a lithium iron phosphate battery here, and I always recommend to use lithium iron phosphate over any other battery, really. By far, they are kind of the best technology to use in my perspective. They have the longest lasting life, and you can discharge them to a deeper depth without causing any battery damage and that type of thing. So really, they are the battery of choice when it comes to solar. So they're normally going to be a little bit pricier. I think I paid about $150 for that battery specific, and like I say, it offers about 256 watts worth of capacity storage that it'll hold into it. And then attached to it, I've got a PWM solar charge controller, which is about a $30 or $40 unit, so it's not super expensive. Like I say, these are all things you can kind of buy one piece at a time if you want to start to get into solar and you want to form just kind of a basic system. But these would be kind of the three core main components that you would need to have in order to produce the electricity, store the electricity, and then pull it off of the terminals of the battery. But and I've even got a little LED light bulb that I'll show in this example of kind of what I can produce with it and for how long, give you some estimates to how long, yeah? But I'll stop and cut angles here and show you a close-up of exactly what I've done for the wiring with the solar charge controller to the battery and how simple this entire system comes together. And like I say, this entire thing is maybe 5 or 10 pounds. It's it doesn't produce a huge amount of power, but it does give you some capacity. And I've actually built this little contraption out, if you will, because I'm going to be showing in future videos of how I can hybrid this, which is a standalone independent system that I can use with 12-volt appliances at this point, but hybrid it in with my batteryless solar system, the batteryless solar generator I produced a couple videos ago, and show you kind of how you could fuse those two technologies together, where without breaking the bank, at less than $1,000 I could have the batteryless solar generator producing power when the sun's out, enough to cook food and those types of things, as I've shown in previous videos. But I could also have this small unit complementing that, where I understand with the batteryless solar generator, when the sun goes down, I'm not producing any electricity, and hence I won't have any power in the evenings. This kind of would help alleviate that, where yes, I could trickle charge this battery and give me enough capacity. As an example, the solar cooker, if you've watched previous videos of mine, I could run that solar cooker for about 2 hours. So if I needed to use it to do an emergency cook-off of food in the evenings, or if I wanted to run, like I say, the simple 12-volt light bulb that I have here, I think that's a 3 or 4 watt light bulb. I could use that for a long time before it would end up running out of power. But like I say, I'll shift angles and show you a close-up, yeah? So, and like I say, this is a really elementary system. So there's a positive and a negative that come off the solar charge controller, and they feed out through and connect onto the positive and the negative on my battery terminal, and they both come out right here. And then there's a line in that comes from the solar panels and feeds into the solar charge controller as well. And that's really all there is to it. The solar charge controller's job is to take in the higher voltage that comes off the solar panels, let's say anywhere from 18 to 20 volts, in around that range, and step it down so that its voltage is more compatible to the lithium iron phosphate battery. And like I say, this unit together will hold about 256 watts. So it's really simple what I've done. I just strapped on the solar charge controller right to the battery. Now, I was going to do a video on this, but I thought it's so elementary, there's nothing to see really. Like I say, the couple wires connect off to the battery, and the couple wires connect off to the solar panel, going through an MC4 connection, and that's really all there is to it. Like I say, where this will be good for me was in the reality of, if I want to fuse this into my batteryless solar generator and actually equip that generator to be battery powered, it's really easy to do that, and I'll show that probably in the next video or two that I produce. But when it comes to running small simple 12-volt appliances, like I say, I've got this little LED light bulb, and it's really simple. I've just got a couple gator clips on it. Simply clip that on, and the camera should be picking that up. I'm running a light bulb, and like I say, this light bulb is only about 3-5 watts, somewhere in around that range. I could run this for hours every evening, you know, and have some basic emergency lighting. Even if I was to switch up, say I had an underground shelter and I was living in a kind of bug out survival situation, I wouldn't even necessarily need to have the battery involved here at all. I could simply come off of the solar panel, go out to normally a buck converter, but I could go out to this setup, and even if the battery was dead with their power, they would still be throwing enough electricity off the solar panel through and into lighting that I could potentially have sitting in an underground shelter, that type of thing. So I might show different videos of that moving forward, but as you can see, really simple. There's nothing to it. Now my thinking really is I don't want to have to clip this on and clip this off every time, and that's not the intention of why I built this the way I have. But this was really more just of an example, but my thinking really will be I'll hook on easy XT60 connectors that'll allow me to easily connect to the solar generator, or the batteryless generator system that I have, and connect or disconnect them. But I also want to hook on a 12-volt cigarette lighter, so when I'm out in the field, if I wanted to use this to run my 12-volt cooking appliances without having the complexity of the batteryless solar system or my portable solar generator, that type of thing, this could easily be a bare bones setup, and I'll probably show that as well in future videos coming. But I just wanted to kind of stop and show you guys this is a quick video of, you don't have to break the bank to get the solar stuff happening. Like I say, this whole setup was maybe a couple $100, and it was spread out over time. Most of this stuff is old stuff that I don't really use anymore because I've stepped up to other things, and it was just kind of past remains. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of throw it together and get it into a functioning system. But there you have it. I'm gonna cut things here, and like I say, gonna end the video short, but really simple systems. There's not much to them. So if you're thinking about getting into solar power and you're worried about the costs and stuff, you know, you can baby step into these things, you know, with small incremental steps, and try out a small scale system like this. And I think you'd be surprised at how comforting it is to know that potentially you've got an emergency lighting system that could last for years and years and years. Potentially you have a way to run 12-volt cooking appliances and that kind of stuff for years to come, you know, off of very little commitment. But like I say, I'll cut it here. If you enjoy this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Cheers.